Hey everyone, this is Walsh with the Battle Belt Review Channel, bringing you 8 million kinds of different battle belts for no reason. In all seriousness, hey, this is Walsh from Thin Line Defense, and today I'm going to give you a review of the Eagle Operator Gun Belt in multicam black. Now before we get to that though, I want to say thanks to all of our Patreon supporters. You're what makes all these reviews possible, even if we have something that's a little bit ridiculous. I also want to say particular thanks to Grim Hunter Tactical Gear. They supplied us with all the pouches that we need to set up for this review today. So let's get started with the Eagle Operator Gun Belt. This may look like a very good budget option for you to get, and I really want to break this thing down and show you my experience because they cut a whole lot of corners that really make this belt not effective, and there's some design choices that are really just a head scratcher. So let's take a look at it. I'm going to show you all the intricacies of the belt as I unboxed it, and then we'll go ahead and set it all up, and I'll show you how I have my whole belt set up, and then we'll actually wear it and we'll go through it and see if there's any things that we like about it or don't like about it, and I'll give you my final thoughts. Alright, so let me go ahead and show you my first day with it and those initial impressions. Alright, so here we have our Eagle Operator Gun Belt. Oh, so the buckle is pretty nice. This is the same buckle that's on my Ronin Senshi, so, you know, they're using some high-end stuff here, so I'm kind of surprised this is on this belt, and it has this D-ring that's on here too if you need to connect to helicopters and such. I don't do that, but it's pretty impressive for a belt at this price range. So wow, okay, interesting to see them use such a high-end buckle. And look at this multicam black. Oh, and this molle, look how thick that is. Usually you see it a lot thinner than that, and I kind of worry about that sometimes, but yeah, look at this multicam black color. Let's see how stiff it is. We can just, oh, well, oh, that's pretty floppy. I wish they used some stiffeners. Let's see if we can fold everything under like we would normally wear it. Maybe that's why it's not acting very stiff, because it's not like set up how it would be. So we'll just fold this under, and then there we go. Okay, let's see if we can. Nope, that's not very stiff at all. What about the other side? Is the other side? I mean, yeah, that's fine. It's pretty stiff. That's interesting. That's wait a minute. Look at this. The inside is loop. What am I going to do with that? Look at this. The inner EDC belt I have is loop. And this is loop. Inner EDC belt loop. And this loop. But look what's going to happen. I put these together and nothing happens. But oh, don't tell me. Here's the hook side. Let me guess. This is going to work. Oh, that's so frustrating. Why would you do this to me? So straight out the gate, I'm immediately annoyed. I have all these different belts I can use to connect into it that are completely useless. For some reason, they decided to reverse the way it's normally done. Generally, you're going to have loop on the EDC belt because that's the cheaper belt. They decided to put the loop on their belt. Now remember this, the hook doesn't wear out, the loop wears out. So eventually, if you need to replace your EDC belt, you just get a new EDC belt and then it has a loop on it because it's going to wear out eventually. But not in this design. In this design, you got to get an entire new belt when this hook runs out. It makes no sense. And it even says on their website that they did it so that it would protect your clothing. But who's connecting their belt to their inner belt with their clothes in the way? How would it connect at all? I don't even understand. It doesn't make any sense. What it seems like more to me is this is a way for them to sell you on their own individual and very specific inner belt because it's opposite from everybody else's. So what did I do? I actually took the belt to a tailor and asked them if they could unstitch all of it and restitch it with hook. That's how much I just didn't want to pay to have a different belt set up, because now the belt is opposite to every other belt. And if you're just getting started, that's okay. Just know that there's a whole ton of things that won't be compatible and won't connect up properly to your belt because they're designed with the normal style where the inner EDC belt is the loop and the outer EDC belt is the hook. It just makes way more sense. So the tailor was actually unable to switch it around too, so I'm stuck with it. So let's go ahead and order that special Eagle Operator inner belt that you have to have that only works with this belt, and let's check it out. Alright, so here's their inner EDC belt. Now look at this though. It's actually smooth on the hook side. You don't normally see this. It's really pretty neat. I've never really seen it all. I wonder if it actually sticks though. Yeah, it's still a pain to get it apart. Oh, that's pretty impressive. Let's try and see how it is to reattach. Just kind of line it up. It seems like pretty good. And then yeah, that's nice and sturdy. I'm surprised by that. Pretty impressive, even though you have to own this very specific belt. Ugh. So this is a pretty neat style of belt. I like how you can't really feel the hook, like you can't really even tell it's there, which would be completely awesome if they put that exact same design on the outer belt, because then you wouldn't have any issues with your clothes. Like the whole logical argument of having it flip backwards makes no sense. It's really driving me crazy. So just be aware though, if you're gonna get the Eagle Operator belt, you have to have their very specific belt. All right, now we have our belt. Let's go ahead and set up everything and we can see how it all lays out and we'll be good to go. Hold up, I just noticed something super frustrating. Look at this. There's the Eagle Operator. Let me grab my Ronin. Okay, we'll put him here. Let's just kind of line them up so you can see the difference. Did you see this here? Look at the top one. There's no molle on the bottom here. See that top one? There's extra molle spacing on that one. They're the same size though. So you're missing 2 molle panels. Seems like they're cutting some pretty serious corners here. What it looks like to me is they have a certain set number of molle panels and they don't change it depending on the size. So, you know, let's say small, there's 10 molle panels, and then you go to medium, there would maybe be 12, which I think is what mine should be. And then large would maybe be 14, etc., etc. They should be more molle panels as it goes further around you. But that's not the case. They're just doing the same number of molle panels regardless of the belt size, which is really cheap and an awesome way to cut a corner that you pay for. So be aware of that. I'm starting to get more and more annoyed with the decisions they made on this belt. But we did set this belt up really cool. And again, I want to thank Grim Hunter Tactical Gear. They gave us these pouches in these super awesome multicam black. I love the way this thing looks. I love the way it turned out. I'm a little frustrated in the actual belt and the actual design, but the Grim Hunter Tactical Gear pouches just round it all up. So let me show you how I set up the whole belt and then how we can use it. And then I'm going to actually try it and see if we run into any other problems. Alright, so the first thing we did is we set up some Esstac Mag Pouches. You know I absolutely love these. I did connect them using the malice clips, so I connected them a little bit differently this time. It just makes it a little more sturdy to do it this way. But I really do love the Esstac Mag Pouches. They make everything easy. You can just insert magazines easily. They have really good retention. I'm just so happy with this, and you can put in your rifle mags too. Just okay, there we go. And see, and then they don't come out. I like the retention on them. They don't come out if you're jumping around or bouncing around. But then at the same time, if you want to pull one of those mags out of those pouches, it's not in there super stiff. You can just yank it right on out of there. Take the pistol pouches out, and then easily remove our rifle mag. And then we have our dump pouch. So this was made by Grim Hunter Tactical, and I like this little one. Just open up here, and it kind of folds out. You just open this up. Whoa. Okay, no, put this tab in first and it locks it down. And you can open it up and you can use it. So it just dawned on me, I never asked Grim Hunter exactly how many magazines fit in here. Let's go find out. Alright, so we'll start with our first mag and then the second mag. Oh, that's fitting easy. Okay, and third mag and number 4. And, okay, I can probably fit 4 in there. Alright, yeah, I'm going to call it there. That's about 4 mags. Fits easily. So now we know. It fits 4 very easily. It'll fit a 5th, but you really got to jam it in there. So I don't recommend doing that. Just stick with 4. And then to fold it up is easy. Just push in the center and then fold over the sides on top of each other. And then you can just roll up the bottom and it puts it in a nice clean package. Just fold the bottom up and then the top over the Velcro. And look at that. Nice clean package. And we have our medical pouch that we've shown you from Grim Hunter Tactical a few times. On the front is a spot to put pens or mag lights or whatever you want to use. And then on top is actually a hat tourniquet holder, so you can just slide your tourniquet in there. And then if you have yourself your own little patch, you can use the front area, a little sleight of hand, and then put that on there. See? Good to go. And then you can just open it up and you have full access to your 6x6 pouch. Pull it away here and rip it on out. So then with the 6x6, and I do this sometimes, I'll just take the 6x6 off, and if I'm going to put it in a bag, I'm going to be traveling, I can put it somewhere else, or I can just throw it in my range bag. I don't got to bring all my stuff. But then if I want to put it back on my battle belt, I can just throw it right back on when I come back. I really like having the versatility of a 6x6 medical pouch with the Velcro backing, because then I can just put it anywhere, throw it around, or if there's an emergency and I have my belt on, I can just take that off and just hand it off to somebody if I need to respond to something else. I really just like the fact that I can remove it from me, and then that shroud keeps everything in place unless I'm actively trying to remove it. Some of the other ones, they'll just slip out and they'll just fall onto the ground. Once you go jumping around, you're gonna see that they're not the best. And then inside this 6x6 from Grim Hunter actually has some different compartments. You can like put your compression bandages, hyphen chest seals, whatever else you may need, you can slide in there, and it has a bunch of different compartments, and on the back here too, like throw some gloves in or whatever you may need. Then you can just close it up nice and easily, close the flap over it, lock it in. Next we have our radio pouch. I really love this because you can just open it up on the sides and on the bottom and fit anything. So like my Alinco DMR is just a smaller radio. You can just slide it in and then fold up the bottom and then lock over the sides. And then you could just use the little clasp over the top to kind of lock it in place. And there you go. You got a nice little radio holder. All right, I know what you guys are all worried about, but what about if you got a Baofeng? Yes, you could fit those in there too. So same as the Alinco, just open it up and then fold it up, fold it over on both sides, and then just pull the little clasp down over the top and then lock it in. There you go, Baofenging it up. So I do get asked now and again how we have the attachments ran through the belt. So I want to show here how I run the malice clips. If you have any questions though, feel free to message us or put something down in the comments and I'll explain to you individually how to connect it and how I have everything run if you need a better picture of it. But hopefully this will help you out. So I really like this M&P karambit knife that we have on here. I don't know if that's how you say it, but I love this little knife. It's cool. I like the way it feels in your hand. It's nice and balanced, and it cuts open boxes with no problem. So in reality, the likelihood of having an EDC knife is about 0. I really should change this out to some sort of survival knife like I could use for wood cutting or for whittling, even for skinning. That's going to be way more useful than whatever self-defense knife may be on this belt. But it looks cool and I like the one Smith & Wesson sent us, so it got tucked down there. I think it's pretty neat. Next we have our Safariland Ubl Mid Ride. This is what we put on most of our belts and attach with a QLS system. A few viewers have reached out to me on some previous belt videos too, and they let me know that when you were to wear a battle belt with the UBL Mid Ride for like a duty situation, if you're going to wear it for like 8 hours, those 2 tabs on the UBL Mid Ride tend to dig into your hips. So there's actually an adapter we're going to be talking about soon, and Jason's going to be doing a review of, and it's going to be the True North adapter. So it connects into the molle on the outside then, so there's nothing going against your body, but then it still adapts into the QLS forks that we use to switch out the multiple different kinds of holsters. I also use a leg strap. I find it keeps the UBL from like rocking around whenever I'm drawing from a holster, so I really like this when using the QLS. The last thing on here, I use a little D-ring in order to hold my gloves. I like the ones that clip open on the top so I can slide my gloves on easily and take them off and then just lock it back from the top. Just makes it simple. Enough talk about the belt. Let's go ahead and get everything all set up in it and get it all put together, and let's actually try it on and hear our thoughts about it. Let's get started with the very unique EDC belt that doesn't work with any of my other stuff. So I'm super excited. Alright, so let's put this thing on. Just kind of weave it through our belt loops like anything else. Come around, just come through the back. So quit getting stuck on everything. Come around. And there we go. Alright, I don't love it. I just wish this type of belt was easier to get tighter. I do want to warn anybody with a little bit of tactical girth that this thing is sharp. So the edges of the hooks on this belt are not comfortable. So you better be skinny if you're going to wear this. Otherwise, I guarantee you this is going to give you a rash. All right, so let's put the whole belt on and let's see how the whole thing works together. All right, so we just kind of put this around me and then just grab this. Okay, now come over here. Gosh, you can never put these on in a hurry, I'll tell you what. Alright, well it seems pretty sturdy. Let's do a couple draws and a couple reloads from it and see how it goes. Make sure nothing comes falling off and the actual belt stays in place. Okay, so that's already messing with me. Because those molle are missing, I'm having to reach a lot further back than I'm used to, because normally I would have the molle a little more towards the center. Maybe I can just rotate the belt around a little bit. It just gets everything all screwy. It's driving me nuts. Surprisingly, the belt does feel really secure. It's not going anywhere. I kind of had my doubts when I was putting it on and trying to get everything set, and the fact that there's some spots where there doesn't seem to be anything really connecting the belt in. There's just this whole like floppy center, which gives me a little bit of concern, but it ended up working out just fine. So I'll tell you what, let's go through my pros, cons, and do I recommend it? Let's start with pros. It's got a really good price. You would think that you could just get into this for a lot cheaper than the others, but there's some hidden costs. The cost of the belt doesn't include the inner belt, but we've learned you have to have the inner belt, so you can purchase it without, like I did, and then you got to pay for shipping twice, and then suddenly you have the price of a actual real belt. Another pro, I think the hook design is extremely innovative. You don't see that very often. Usually you see a standard Velcro hook design that isn't very good against your skin. This is very different. It's a slick style and still connects up just as sturdy as the others. Cons, number one, I hate that the hook and loop is flipped. That makes anyone buying this belt, all of their other equipment, just completely useless. I use some of my other EDC belts. I use the different inner belts and outer belts, and I like to rotate them all around and try different configurations and do different stuff, but not with this one. You just get this and this inner belt, and there's nothing else you can use. This is not my favorite inner EDC belt. Another big con, having that hook on the EDC belt means if you have anything hanging over your belt, it is very sharp. That will cut you. That will be very uncomfortable. They really need to move that hook to the outer belt, and they're going to have an amazing combo. Whatever they're saying about how it doesn't damage your clothes doesn't make any sense, because you don't connect up the belt. You don't put your clothes in between the belt and the other one. This makes no sense. Why would you do this? Oh, I want to make sure not to damage my clothes. Well, you'd still have your clothes on the other side of the hook anyway. The whole argument doesn't make any sense. So the last big con is the molle. I think it's pretty ridiculous that they cut so many corners that they just decided to include less molle panels. So if you're just wearing a bigger belt, you just get less. So you just have to deal with it. That's a little bit ridiculous. So be aware when you're buying this that you're not getting a full set of molle panels. For me, that messes with me because I like to have my pistol pouches more towards the front, and I can't. I have to rotate everything 2 panels over to the side. You wouldn't think that'd be a big of a deal, but when you've done the same reload forever and you're just looking to go grab your pistol mags, they're not there. I have to grab, and then I just start fumbling around like, oh, there they are. And that takes precious time, particularly if you're using this for competition. Do I recommend this belt? I don't. I don't recommend this belt. I don't know which one of you jerks told me to try this and to get this belt. It looks really cool. I like that they have it in multicam black. That's pretty rare to find in these battle belts, to find in multicam black. So I think that's a selling point for a lot of people. But the fact that you can't use it with anything else, the inner EDC belt is sharp. You lose all the molle panels. And in reality, once you pay for that inner belt that they don't include in the price, you're really at the same price as a Warrior Poet Society or a Blue Alpha Gear belt. So I would just highly recommend you get one of those. This inner EDC belt is not good. It's probably one of the worst ones that I have, and I'm just stuck with it because nothing else mates with it. This is just an overall bad product. Steer clear of the Eagle Operator gun belt. I don't know why they made so many weird decisions with this that just ultimately culminated in a very, very poor design. So I hope you learned a little bit more about the Eagle Operator gun belt and learned some more about the Grim Hunter tactical gear pouches and kind of seen what you may want to put on your battle belt after seeing what we did on ours. So thanks to all of those Patreon supporters. You're what makes these reviews possible. Thank you for letting me check this thing out and learn that this one just isn't for me. And thanks to everybody that likes, comments, and subscribes. Comment down below on what you think about the Eagle Operator, or if there's other belts you want to see. Everyone keeps saying they want to see the Raptor Tactical. Let me know what version. There's like a 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I don't know which one you guys want to see. So tell me which one you want to see, and I'll see if I can grab one of those, and we'll do that next. All right, everybody, take care of yourself. Wash out. Battle belts. Got so many.